One of the best ways for me to learn painting is to see it done, which is why I insist on doing it when I teach. A great revelation that came from teaching painting online was the license it gave me to dedicate a much greater proportion of the time in an overall course to showing me actually painting. In the fall of 2021, I ran an online course called Examining Velázquez, a painting expedition, where I did a deep dive into the Spanish painter's technical and stylistic decisions. In doing so, I showed how I would approach making copies of some details of his work, one of a still life, one of a portrait. The third and final part of the course was to bring this technical and stylistic knowledge to an original painting done from life. About 8 hours were spent working with a model, which for me is almost enough to get a good start on a painting, but nearly impossible to bring it to a finish, especially if the process is meant to be indirect and multi-layered. Such is often the case when teaching a portrait class, especially when a week-long workshop or a once-a-week course allows for even less time for me to demonstrate.
So you're going to finish this painting, Tim, after the class is finished?
I'd like to. I think it's a pretty
Yeah.
good start.
Yeah. Yeah, it'd be good if you did.
See if I can convince Julia to come back.
But where to go from there, and how are students to know? That got me thinking. And in the spring of 2022, I decided it would be interesting to try and run an online course that would help answer two key questions. One, what do I do when I no longer have the model to work from life? And two, how would I bring the portrait to a finish? From that came the idea for The Art of the Finish. Working from a photograph of the model, I continue with the indirect painting process of scumbles and glazes, coupled with relentless examination of the big shapes and the subtle angles that impact likeness and expression. Most importantly, I try to illustrate that it is possible to use a photograph in the service of making a painting, rather than using paint in the service of copying a photograph. Do I succeed? I'll let you be the judge. The Art of the Finish is a 10-hour plus pre-recorded course now available. Please follow the link below in the description for details. As always, if you have any questions, please feel free to contact me via the contact page on the website.